Life is like mountain climbing or climbing a mountain. It takes effort, patience, and perseverance. We get tired, we struggle, sometimes we feel like giving up. But when we reach the top, we see a beautiful view, we feel refreshed, and everything seems worth it. In today's gospel, Peter, James, and John climb a mountain with Jesus. And there, they witness something extraordinary. Jesus is transfigured. His face shines like the sun. His clothes become dazzling white. And they see Moses and Elijah talking to him. Then they hear the voice of God saying, "This is my chosen son. Listen to him." At that moment, the disciples feel peace. But soon, they had to go down. They had to return to the real world where trials await them. This story reminds us of how we also go through moments of joy and moments of struggles, both as individuals and as a nation. Today, our country is facing another great trial. The recent arrest of former President Duterte has stirred emotions across the nation. This is an issue that divides us Filipinos. There are those who feel deep sadness, anger, and uncertainty over his arrest. But there are also those who see this as a necessary consequence of justice. But what should be our Christian response? For those who are hurting and grieving, like the disciples who were frightened when they entered the cloud and saw the glory of Jesus, it is normal to feel confused and even feel betrayed by the turn of events. We must remember, however, that no human leader, no matter how great, is above the law. Only God is. But even in trials, we trust that justice and truth will prevail. For those who rejoice in his arrest, do not be consumed by hatred and pride. Instead of rejoicing for another person's downfall, do pray that true justice based on truth and love will be served. True justice is not about revenge, but it is about restoring what is right. But whichever side we are on, and whatever our political affiliation may be, today's celebration of the Transfiguration of Jesus has three important things to tell us. First, the Transfiguration of Jesus gives us encouragement in the midst of trials, in the midst of struggles. Before facing hardships, Jesus revealed his glory to his disciples, strengthening them through an assurance that God's plan was still at work. In our life, we all encounter struggles, financial burdens, illness, broken relationship, or personal failures. Students wrestled with academic pressure, parents worry about their children, workers endure unfair treatment, leaders makes difficult decisions, and our country is experiencing a painful moment of reckoning. Yet, today's celebration, the transfiguration of Jesus, reminds us that God is present even in our suffering, even in our trials. Every small victory, every answered prayer, every moment of peace is God's way of telling us that I am here, I am with you, keep going. And our call at this moment is not to deepen division, but to seek wisdom, healing, and unity. Our ultimate loyalty is not to any politician or political party, but for us soldiers to the Constitution and to the greater good of the Filipino people. Secondly, the transfiguration of Jesus urges us not to stay on the mountain, but go down and work for the common good. Peter wanted to stay on the mountain, enjoying the glorious moment. But Jesus did not allow them to remain there. And like Peter, we also want to stay on the mountain by avoiding difficult conversation, by ignoring injustices, or by hesitating to step out from our comfort zone. But today we are reminded that faith is not simply enjoying good moments. True faith is about being willing to walk with Jesus through both joys and sacrifices. And lastly, in the transfiguration of Jesus, the voice of the Father was heard. This is my beloved Son, listen to Him. That the voice of God in today's gospel is a clear command. This is my beloved Son, listen to Him. In today's world, it is hard to listen because of noise. Noise in the social media, political biases, and personal emotion. But as Christians, we are called to listen not only to our human leaders, but to the voice of God is speaking to us through justice and truth. In times of national crisis, it is tempting to look for drastic solution. Some people are saying, our ancestors, our forefathers, the Filipino people had done it during EDSA 1 and 2. We can do it again. But brothers and sisters, the solution to our country's problem is not violence. We must reject division and work for peaceful change through legal and just means. Today, we are reminded that the paramount importance is the greater good of the Filipino people and not personal interest or political power. Our leaders come and go, but our duty to build a just and peaceful society remains. May this season of Lent be really a time for us to renew ourselves, a time of renewal for all of us, as we seek not just personal transformation, but also the transformation of our country.